Convenient, just rolls right back.
How's my man Braun doing?
He got himself some, well, not new, but new to him, Callaway clubs. It was a buddy of my father-in-law who is like getting too old to golf. He's like in his 80s and he doesn't really play anymore. So he left them in my in-laws' house in Lakeland a while ago. I was like, well, they're way too big. But he's like, he'll grow into them eventually. So we were at the driving range maybe like 5-6 months ago. And I knew his old clubs were getting a little short for him. My wife's like, that is way, she's like, what is that? Look, and I'm like, oh, he's probably using like an 8 or 9 iron. He's like, no, Dad, this is my 5. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, you got it. Way too big for those, way too quick. So he's swinging grown man clubs at this point. He played terrible Saturday when we played, just topping everything, which I'm like, that's weird because I got him a lesson booked next Saturday. My dad will have to bring him because I'm going to be in Jamaica.
Great.
But the first couple times he played, I think because of the length of the clubs, it took him like 2 or 3 holes to kind of get used to it. But once he got used to it, he hits the ball the same distance I do with the same club.
How tall is he now?
So we were at Big Cypress playing their like executive, like shorter course. And it was a par 3. It was like 138. He's like, Dad, what do you think I should use? I'm like, probably a 6 or a 7, you know, and because he was playing okay, but and we're still trying to like gauge the distance.
Yeah.
And he hit the 7 and it went nice and straight, and it went past the hole into the woods. I was like, okay, let's go with an 8 iron, which is what I did.
You're learning.
And he hit it a little bit to the right, and he hit it pin high. And I was like, that's all 138. Like, I think that's 138 to the front of the green. I don't think that's 138 to the pin today.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. So yeah, whenever we get somewhere and he's like, what are you hitting? I'm like, well, I'm hitting a 7, so you should probably hit that.
That's great.
And he was pushing it right a lot. He was getting discouraged. I actually told him, like, just quit for the day. Like, don't sit here and beat yourself up about it.
Stop when it's still fun.
But when he's hitting those longer clubs good, he's hitting a nice, it's like comes out right to left, and he's hitting a draw. And my dad looked at me, he's like, how does he do that? I was like, I don't know. Tim taught him how to hit a draw at one point, and when he's swinging it well, it works.
That's great.
And he was hitting it he was playing pretty well. He'll have holes where, I told my wife, I'm like, he's hitting off the same tee box as I am at this point. Like if we play an executive length course.
What is he, 11, 12?
He will be 12 in February. So I gave him my mini driver.
Okay, yeah, the old mini driver.
And it's the full length. We haven't cut it down for him. And he's hitting that about 220 to 230.
Oh, wow.
He hits it the same distance as I hit it.
Wow.
So I did, it's actually a hole over at Betmar that's 225.
Okay.
Me and, because my dad likes that club too, for like the 230 to 240 holes.
Yeah.
Him, me, and my dad all swung that exact same club. And my dad hit it left about 215. He hit it dead. He would have been on the green. There's a little mound off to the right side of the fairway.
Yeah.
And the ball came down onto the downslope and hit and bounced up, and he rolled, and he was like 5 yards short of the green.
Holy cow.
And I was pin high to the left. So I was like, oh yeah, I drove him by like 8 to 10 yards. Dad's like, well, in fairness, he did hit that downslope, so he probably, if he didn't hit that, it rolled onto the green. These are fast enough. He actually might have rolled it past.
Holy cow. Looking at maybe the high school team in a couple years?
Yeah, I think he likes it, and he's not like super competitive. Like he's like competitive, but not like that. He likes to play well, but not so much like. Cause he's like, because my wife's like, he needs to get into a tournament. I'm like, he needs to work on his consistency a little bit, because he'll par 3 holes in a row and then have a
and then have a little blow up.
And then he'll have a blow up. So I'm like, he just needs to kind of get those little kinks out, and it'll be good. That one actually
Pretty good right there.
Decent. Yeah, it's weird. I slice everything, and it seems like with my irons, if I do, I haven't been like striking the ball well,
Okay.
and it'll go low and flat. And then when I do strike it well, I've been pulling it.
Okay.
I'm like, usually I slice everything, so I'm like, I don't know
Okay.
what it was. Like I said, I think the other day I was just like, just not hitting it good, and I was a little tired anyway. And I think I wasn't. I think I was like, I was doing the takeaway, but then it was all arms.
Gotcha.
I think I wasn't. I haven't been consistently like getting my chest around to kind of get.
Gotcha.
I think is what I was doing.
And I'm going to kind of show you the video on that too.
Because now that I thought about it and was working on it in the shower last night, I'm actually kind of getting.
Good. Yeah, it's amazing how we kind of think of these things. Right, so let's take a look at this guy face on. Okay. Setup looks pretty good. Okay. We got a 7-iron. I'd like the ball maybe just a shade a little bit up a little bit.
Yep.
It looks like your hands are a little bit too far ahead, just a smidge. Okay, so good turn. Okay, we could get a little bit more. You can see how the chest is starting to just kind of go this way a little bit.
Yeah, gotta keep it
Well,
forward a little bit more.
Yeah, we want to kind of feel like.
So it's kind of getting behind the ball.
Yeah, so we were just talking about how you were kind of hitting a few shots fat and behind the ball a little bit. Probably what's happening, what I can see here in the video, is that as we kind of go, we're getting our chest back like this, right? So we want to kind of get more of our sternum or our spine line kind of more in line where we're at and get our shoulders kind of moving. So I want to see kind of more of that right shoulder back behind us as we turn. So watch me as I kind of go. You see, you can kind of see the back part of my right shoulder right there. In the video, you can't see yours because you go like this.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm coming back and not just.
Yeah, there you
twist.
go. Okay.
Kind of leaning back.
Yeah. So you start
Kinda
leaning
getting
back.
I'm getting too much on the back foot. I think.
Correct.
Like,
So it's very tough for you to transfer your weight, number one, and number two, your consistency is usually going to be behind the ball instead of ahead of the ball.
Yeah.
And especially with the irons, we want that ahead. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
yeah.
Okay. All right, let me take a look at the one down the line here and see how we're doing. Okay, you can see that we're a little short and a little shallow. Does that make sense? So I'd like to see the turn will be greater. If we can get the turn greater, the hands will get higher.
Yep.
Does that make sense? Okay, but right now you can kind of see it's just kind of solidifying what we've already said is it's kind of like this.
Yep.
We're just kind of getting back over here and then trying to chop wood.
Getting back with my arms, not with my
Correct.
chest.
Correct. So, whatever kind of works best for you, we'll do a few drills, but we want to get back to that idea that, when I have that club across our chest and we have something there, we feel like we're turning that left shoulder down towards it, right? So, set up on here. Good. So as we kind of come. All right, good. And then allowing these shoulders to turn. There you go. Good. Getting those arms up. There we go. Good. Okay, that's what we're kind of looking more for. Probably feel a little bit tighter too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely like right through kind of
The lower back
the
here?
right glute. Yeah, it's like I can feel that tension.
Okay.
Whereas before, I think I was just, it wasn't there.
Yeah, it's
there
kind
was,
of a-
there was no like, it wasn't like twisting up.
Yeah, it's just kind of a move back
Yeah.
instead of a move or twist around. Okay, good. Now the other thing I do kind of see here just a little bit when we come through, all right, is I'm seeing this right knee kind of like this as we come through.
Okay.
I want that right knee going down our target line. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's like coming out.
Yeah, yep, it's kind of like an Elvis move. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So if I kind of, let's see if I got something right here for us. Just gonna give you a little idea. So go ahead and set up for me. All right, so if I had this right along your knee plane here, right? So if you just kind of took a small swing here a little bit, kind of got an idea, right? And then as we turn it through here, come on and turn through. You see how your right knee stays inside this?
Yep.
Okay. Your right knee's going outside.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. Good.
What's going?
Lean back just a little bit. Don't try to kill it, just try to smooth it. Half speed. For the next 4 shots here, okay, we're not going to worry about anything that we talked about, okay? What we're going to try to do is just make solid contact, okay? I'm going to put this little thing in front of our ball, and what we're going to do is we're going to hit punch shots and just try to get solid contact to start off with, okay? Okay. All right. So just feel like you're hitting a punch shot here, okay? Let's just get used to it. Go ahead and set up for me. I'm trying to see. Well, it looks like somebody hit the TV with a ball. Oh, shit. All right, here we go. For me. Okay. Good. There we go. Okay. Getting the. So what I kind of see here a little bit is you start getting the club a little too far forward.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we want to get that so the butt of the club's pointing towards our, just left of our navel. Good. Okay, and let's just try to give that a shot there, okay?
Oh, didn't work.
See how I can flip out this time. All right, let's take a look at a few things here. I want to take a look at what our low point is. So you can see our club path is significantly to the left. Okay, so as you can kind of see indicated right here. Okay, when I see you hit good shots, this club path is positive. Okay? So, that being said, right, we need to start having an idea of swinging out towards the right. Okay? So we want to have that feeling that we're swinging out towards the right, bringing it back a little bit. Okay? The other thing is that we've got to kind of have the feeling of maybe slowing it down just a little bit to start making contact a little bit better.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Getting a little quick at the top. I know we're trying to make some changes, but trying to get too quick with it, just a little bit, okay? So I'm gonna put this right on over here, put that right there, okay? And let me grab something here real quick. All right. So we just want to hit small little shots, try to get a feel for it, but we want to feel like we're swinging along this plane, okay? Along that path line, in to out, right? And let the club face turn. Good. Good. Better, okay. Okay, there you go, good. All right, swing along that path. Good. Okay, so it's not exactly where we want to be, I know, but 4.5,
Yep.
okay, positive club path, getting much better contact.
Yep.
Compared to what we were before, okay?
Yeah, it's getting up now.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now, because now we're able to utilize some of the loft on the club, instead of if I come down this way, I'm turning the club face down,
Yep.
right? But if I'm swinging out to the right, I'm maintaining that loft on the face. Good. All right, here we go. Good.
That was too much. It's okay.
Good. No, I think the path was maybe positive, maybe a little negative, but the big thing I kind of see there a little bit, did you feel like you kind of pulled the club across the line?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been feeling that where I'm pulling it and I'm like, I feel like I'm pulling it.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm trying to like whip it too much and not.
Yeah, so what I see, right, is I see the right side controlling that. So as you come through here, it's like get here, and then it's just, this guy just shuts it through. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Instead of what I'd like to kind of see here, let me grab the club here real quick. All right, because I think you're starting to get a feel for the positive path going out to the right, but you're like, I don't want to go that direction, so I'm going to have my right side of my body, shut it down. Does that make sense a little bit?
Like
So
baseball swinging.
Yeah, yeah.
Too much hip.
So let me jump on in there real quick and let me kind of show you something real quick, okay? So path is going to be positive out towards the right, but what I want to do to get that ball to bend back for me is I want to use my forearms and arms as I come through, right? Rotating that face closed, right? Instead of getting here and swinging this way and then shutting it down to pull it across. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So what we want to kind of do is, as we kind of practice and as we kind of do this, just kind of get a feel for swinging out towards the right and then really feeling like I'm releasing my wrists, or, almost, I hate to say the word, but almost feel like you're flipping your wrists over a little bit. But it'd be kind of like this, just here and through. Okay, that's going to be dead left, I hope. Yeah, right? But you can see that my path and face matched up. 6, 6. Okay? So what I want to kind of do here, right, at least explaining to you, is that I don't want to do this. I don't want to go here and then go, right? Is that kind of how you feel right there?
Yeah.
Everything's
Like
spinning out of control.
Yeah, my hips are kind of like ahead of everything else.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
flipping that right hip around.
Right, absolutely. So that's what we want to kind of get to here just a little bit, is just kind of get swinging out this way, and then as I said, feeling like my forearms are really rotating and turning, okay, but not my right side just shutting it down. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So let me kind of give you a feel here. All right, now that I've kind of explained it to you, so if you set up there for me. As you kind of go here, right, that'd be there, right, as we come through, boom. See how much that guy's got to turn over there now? Okay. You can tell that with a lot of the tension that's in your forearms, it's going to be tough for you to turn a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we want to loosen up those forearms just a little bit, right? Good. So as we kind of come, yeah, there, okay, boom, through. Let that right side come through. Your right foot.
Oh, right foot. Right.
Yeah, there you go. You see how that right knee goes right down the line
Yeah.
now? Good, good. Do it one more time, okay? Get a good feel for that. All right, here, yeah. Okay, so as we come in impact, boom, rotate over. Good, good, okay? Give me a practice swing, please. Any questions right there, Kyle? Anything?
Yeah, I think I tend to grip it. I
Yeah.
think that's what gets the forearm tension, and then I can't release it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm aware of it. It's
So
just
here-
something that's like
Let me do this to
you
you.
just got to loosen up a little bit, I think.
So let me do this real quick. So I'm going to take control of the club. You just hold on to it, okay? And I'm
Yep.
going to control it, okay? All right, let me swing it for you. There you go. There you go. You see how you're starting to be able to, there you go. And that's as much tension as you need in those forearms, okay?
Yeah.
That's as much need as you need. We do need to hold on to it, but we need to allow to have speed for it too. Yeah, there you go. You hear that? Yes. It's a beautiful sound. All right, here, let me try again. Here. Get you all loosened up here. There you go. There you go. Good. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, how does that feel for us? Talk to
I
me.
mean, it's way looser, that's for sure.
Good. Okay. Do you feel like you got more speed in your swing though?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and that's definitely feel like you said, like there's so much tension in it, and then trying to rip through it.
Yeah.
It's, my arms can't keep up with my hips, and then I end up
Well, it's
trying to hit one over the green monster. And
well, you know, with the tension, you know, the upper part. You just think about it, the upper part of the body is going to be running a little bit slower because it's got that tension in it, right? So if I can't get my club face through impact because of the tension, the face is typically going to be open, unless I do what you've kind of done before. Is we get here and then we just take the right side, kind of shut it down and square up the club face. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So now that we get our arms looser, right? I can kind of get here and then really feel my forearms rotate and come through as they come through.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the things too that I was like, I think to try to compensate for it is like, instead of like letting my wrist turn and come back, like I'm trying to like do this
Yeah.
and then come down, and then it's like coming down, and that's what pulls it through, instead of like being, so I'm just not loose enough to like turn the wrist.
Well-
I try to like come up with it.
So here's the other thing that we kind of we're touching on, right? Was our chest rotation, right? If I just kind of move my hands, right? I haven't moved my chest, right? And then I can kind of get like this and I get short,
Yeah.
right? Now on the opposite could be also true. I could get like this and get real long and not get there, right? So there's got to be a Goldilocks zone, right?
Yeah.
So we want to get to the point where the hands get to just about past the right foot here or so, right? And then I want to rotate up, okay? But I don't want to flip my wrist real quick,
Right.
okay? Because then you know, my chest isn't going to turn with it, right? So we want to get everything to kind of match up.
Yep.
Does that make sense? Okay. And which is great is that we've got another lesson tomorrow morning, so we can start hammering more on this stuff, which is great.
Take a swing at one just to
Yeah,
see.
let's do this. So much better.
Yeah, take that.
Okay. I
A
mean,
little slow, but
a little slow, and I'm
made
fine with that.
contact and went. So
Absolutely. But the contact that I heard was the best that I've heard so far of the
Yeah.
club so far. So we're on the right path, I think, my friend.
that was way too open.
So remember, as we come through impact, Kyle, right, as we come through impact, this toe is gonna go left. I want you to feel that. Okay? That's gonna help close that up.
Yep.
Good.
Oh, I'm on the sand trap. That's even digitally, I end up in the sand trap.
And what are we typically hitting our 7-iron?
150, 160.
So we're leaving a lot on the table.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely not swinging. I think it's smoother. It's probably not as much speed,
Okay.
but like I said, I think when I try to, I always try to tell Braun swing fast, not hard. Because that's the same thing I tell myself. Is
Yeah.
When I try to swing fast, it usually just means I swing hard.
Yes.
And then is where we end up baseball swinging.
Right.
So you just need to, like the reps of like the loose and work the speed up
Yes.
and not try to swing
So
out of my
hard.
shoes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got to let the club head do the work, right? You got to feel those forms rotate and turn through, right? And you got to feel that coiling. Good. Club face open. That's okay.
I went farther. I think it went left, but it went farther.
Club path is a little bit to the left. Okay. All right. Feel like you're swinging that club to the in to the out. There you go. In to out. Good. Very good.
That was.
It sounded a lot better right there.
Yeah.
There we go. Right, so you start to notice how things are starting to match up. If I swing out to the right, I've really got to allow my forearms to rotate and
Yeah.
close. Right, that feeling that we've got to have. Great, good.
Hold that one again. It was in. Yep. But it went.
It would, you know, if our club path was a little bit out to the right towards
Yeah.
the other side, it wouldn't have been as bad. To be
Yeah.
honest with you, you'd just be on the left side of the line.
It's been so bad lately that I would take that. I'm like, at least it
Went.
went.
Okay.
Like there's progress. It went up and out. Again. It wasn't that bad. Not as bad as I thought it was. Went straighter, but I slowed it down, so it's kind of the trade-off.
Well,
now.
that's what we want to kind of do is we practice, right? You know, if I can get you to kind of do this for a couple weeks and then start pouring on the speed, we'll start getting there.
Yeah, every time I try to get fast, it gets left.
Oh,
That didn't work at all. Bad.
I want you to move it back in your stance just a smidge for me.
Okay.
Just a smidge. Mm-hmm. Kind of pulled across the line there.
Yep. Just concentrating too much on my feet and not
Okay.
I get.
Now, the one thing I kind of see here is that the path is starting to get better, right? You can see it's 1.3. The big thing is I just see the face kind of moving quite a bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The face angle, it's usually pretty closed as we're coming in. I just want to take a look at your grip real quick and kind of see where we're at there. Okay. And if you could do me a favor, take it back to maybe the first quarter part of your swing, wherever that might be. Okay. That's looking pretty good right there.
I feel like it's probably coming back too much and then trying to like overcompensate. I don't know, or if I'm not coming back enough and it's getting too closed.
Okay.
I'm guessing it's
Well,
somewhere between here and here.
Yes. So I just want to check. So set up one more time for me real quick. Okay. And where's our weight distribution?
Probably I'm trying to keep it pretty even right now.
Okay. Now take the club and point it straight out towards me. Are we pretty closed or are we pretty straight, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so.
This guy.
Oh, this. Okay, I think. Yeah, I think that's pretty straight.
Pretty square?
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit closed.
Okay. All right. Give me a couple practice swings with that, okay? I just want to make sure that grip is good and our face isn't getting closed at the bottom. That's it. Jump on in here and help you out. Good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good. All right, so do you feel like the club is kind of opening and closing like a door now?
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas I think before you kind of took it back real shut,
Yeah.
right? And then as you come through, if I'm swinging to the left, it's just going to really be shut, right? And if I swing out to the right, then it's just going to be a little bit more shut.
Yeah. Trying to get out of that habit of like pulling my hands in. You know, like trying to get out of that and like keep it out.
Out and wide, right? Yep.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm still kind of flipping it, but I'm doing this sometimes and it shortens that, it shuts that hip down.
Absolutely.
I get too close.
Yeah. There you go. All right. We just kind of slow it down and get that motion down at the bottom. Start off with, yep, perfect. All right. And then as we start to slowly progress, start building in speed to that swing. Quick right
Yep.
there, right?
Yep.
Perfect. Good work right there. So talk to me, Kyle. How does that feel? Take a break for just a second. Why don't you grab a drink real quick?
I think I get quick in the backswing, and then that gets me janked up. Like, swing fast through, but I need to slow down on the backswing to get in the right spot. I think that's what gets me in trouble is I'm trying to match the swing speed, the backswing speed with the through swing speed.
Right. So for you,
Not John Rahm or Rory who can swing back hard.
right? Well, those guys are all different animals, right?
That's people watch, see how fast they swing,
Absolutely.
and then you see it, and it gets subconsciously in your brain like swing fast. Like no, you can't, most people aren't backswinging that fast
No, I mean,
because they're not putting it out 340 consistently.
correct. I mean, and those guys are getting their, when you look at their body positions compared to what we can get into, that's why they're able to do what they're able to do, right? But us being mere mortals, we can't do that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that I just gotta like. When I hit it good, I notice I'm like easy up, but then like kind of then snap it through. Like
Yes.
put the foot down and get the speed there, and I tend to get out of that and I come back.
Yeah.
It's just it's too jittery of a motion.
Yeah.
So I don't have the fast twitch
Well, the only
capability to come back and forward that fast.
The only time that the swing should feel quick, okay, is when I get here, and let me just kind of explain my swing thoughts as I come through. So everything is kind of slow and wound up as I get back here. I don't care how fast I get back here. Actually, I want to go back slow.
Yeah.
I kind of think of 40-60, so a 40 back, 60 through. But it's going to be here, okay? And then I want to feel this transition, and then where I'm going to feel speed at is right here. I want to feel, like from here to here, I want to feel like it's a dance move real quick.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Everything else is slow and lethargic, and I don't really care about how fast that goes. But when I get to here, I want to have a lot of speed and power.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, right, I've always, I don't know why I've said this, but for right here, this is the on-ramp to the interstate for me. Right? It's right here and it's go time.
Yeah.
Does that make sense a little bit?
Yeah.
At least that's my swing thought on that.
Yeah, all the power comes from like this 90 degrees.
Yeah, waist high to waist high.
Yep.
Right? That's where I want to feel the power, and if I look at like somebody like John Rahm, he only gets to here, but his power is like from here to here.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I was watching, he was on Bob Does Sports. He did a couple of things with them.
oh, did he?
And it was funny to like, so when you watch it on TV, and well, he's with Liv now too, so you don't see him. It's harder to watch him now.
Yeah.
But just because they like film so close, and you're right up there, and there's not a bunch of people. It's not like the odd angles. They're like,
Yeah.
that camera to me right now is like literally that close, and I was like, I'm watching it. I'm like, he's just got hand-eye coordination that's otherworldly because his swing is not good.
No,
I'm not
no.
a golf expert, but I'm like, you watch him and you're like, that's not. You wouldn't be taught that. He's
No.
just his hand like. But it's like you watch like the old footage of Babe Ruth, and I was watching something on YouTube about like a hitting coach, and he's like, everything Babe Ruth used to do, I would tell a kid that is the exact opposite of how you should swing. He just had hand-eye coordination and natural power that
Absolutely.
nobody else had, so he could do that. And I was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, that's why I like don't watch John Rahm.
Well,
Don't watch Rory and try to pick up tips because they have a hand-eye coordination level or focus or whatever it is that that mortals don't. Most mortals don't have.
Unworldly,
Yeah.
you know. But I think that's kind of poignant because you hear people like Tiger say to Charlie, "Don't copy my swing,
Yeah.
copy Rory's," right? And
Yeah.
and think about Babe Ruth, maybe looking at his kid. Don't copy my baseball swing, copy Lou Gehrig's swing or something like that.
Yeah,
so
a guy who did it the right way, not my way.
It just shows how much
Yeah.
hand-eye coordination and feels those guys have at another
Yeah,
level.
because like his backswing, he's like Rahm was like, bang. I'm like, wow, like it's so quick.
Yeah.
and he does kind of baseball swing it. He's like, and he's a bigger stock. He's a stocky guy, so I don't know if that's like how he gets to turn it, but he hits it straight. But he does look like he's like taking a baseball cut at it.
I think the best line I ever heard about John Rahm is one of the, I watched the European channel and they had him on there and guy says, his trousers are full of legs.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just got tree trunks
Yeah.
for legs, dude, and that's how he moves that ball out. All right. Getting a good feel for this, what we're doing at the bottom?
Yeah.
Right?
So
Like striking a
it's-
match, right?
Yeah. It's that trying to work on like, don't swing fast from here. Kind of let it
Yeah.
fall, and then this is the
Accelerate, yes.
yeah. Don't accelerate from the top because then that's where I get tight. Is I'm trying
Tight,
to
we start swinging to the left and
Yeah.
bad things start happening.
Just kind of let it fall and
Yeah.
then swing through at the bottom.
Yeah. Good, very good.
Take a swing at one just to
Take your time.
completely undo everything I just told myself I was going to do.
Good swing right there.
Yeah, I buy that.
I liked how, even though the path was a little bit to the left, it was 2, and the face angle was a little bit closed too. The thing I like, and I don't particularly care if it is positive or negative, but if I can get your club path closer to 0,
And does it matter too, like you were saying, like, because you had like a 6 and a 6? As long as they're close, does that mean at least it's like,
Going straight.
It's going straight,
Yeah.
regardless if it's,
yeah. If we can get these two numbers closer to 0,
yeah,
right? Simple math. If I get those numbers closer to 0, straighter I go.
yeah.
Right.
And even though the club path is negative, the face angle was negative, so it kind of balanced it out, so it went relatively straight.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Right?
Those just need to, to an extent, they should match. It's just,
They
you want them close to 0.
Close to 0 is possible, but
Yeah.
to be honest with you, if I could get you to 2 degrees just over the top for you, you're gonna play golf that you're gonna enjoy,
Yep.
right? But if I see some of the path where it's like 7 or 8 degrees to the left,
Yeah,
you're
that's
putting
what I'm-
on so much spin and you're gonna have to do something at the bottom.
That's what I'm baseball swinging.
Yeah. So, and that's the great thing about this little facility is that you could just see what your path is right away.
I was telling Braun, I'm like, they've got it's like the simulator, they've got the TrackMan, so it's got like all the angles. Like it's like what Tim does when we're at the range, but even more information. So it's like, oh, it's gonna be cool. So it's-
absolutely.
So he was looking forward.
Sounds better.
Yeah, right. It's still negative.
Face was probably just wide open.
Yeah, I didn't turn it.
All right. Okay. Good. You're recognizing that. That's good.
It was way negative. Pulled the hell out of it.
Okay. You felt yourself pull that, right?
Yeah, I felt the hip come through and
Right.
not the hip came through and not my knee.
Right.
It was.
But starting to get a feel for what that needs to be down at the bottom, right? That
Yeah.
striking of a match, right? Hands kind of going through. There you go, good.
That was better. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was good.
Right, and I know we're not hitting it 250 or 150, but if I can just get you to start hitting it down the middle,
Yeah.
right? We start seeing that, right? And we start building on a little speed, we'll get there, okay? But
Yeah,
I'd much rather you be 105 down the middle than
I'd rather hit
150 in
it.
the trees.
Yeah, I'd rather hit it straight
Yeah.
than far for the most part. so.
Right, and once you start to get the motion or the movement pattern for this, then you can start putting on the
Yeah.
speed a little bit.
You can always club up to hit it farther.
Correct. That's why they give you 14
So,
clubs.
yeah.
I mean, don't get married just to one.
A little bit inside because I'm trying to swing a little faster, but
It's all right. Okay, path is starting to get a little bit more back over the top again. Okay?
Yeah.
So, want to feel like, once again, so if I kind of, solve this right, want you to kind of have your focus, like your swing focus out in this tree.
yeah, and it's I get it in my head that if I try to swing that way, I'm gonna hit the TV,
I got you.
and then like mid swing, I'm like, don't hit the TV.
Right? Well, that's because we're keeping our hands
Yeah.
like this instead of allowing the
Yeah,
club
trying
to
to-
pass by us.
It'll be fine as long as I break the wrist and I'm swinging out that way.
Yeah, and
Because
let,
I'm turning it, it's just don't come down like that. Yeah.
yeah, don't come down like that. Just let the toe rotate to the left as it comes through. Good.
Still. One good one where I swing out in the next 4 minutes. I think it was a little bit better. Slower.
Good.
But it went straight.
Good. Right.
Slower. Well, I guess club path and face angle were okay because it went straight.
Yeah.
Didn't pick them up, but I
Didn't-
guess it was okay. So good.
Swayed back.
Yeah,
Okay. Just feel yourself
Right.
kind of go
and I
tensed up.
tried to strangle it at the top.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, do that something.
That's good. Path was a little bit better on that one way I can see from down the line. Mm-hmm. Swinging out towards that second baseman. Swinging out towards that second baseman.
Damn it. That one's good.
To be honest with you, and you'll see it on the video on this one, you're actually lined up that way. You've got your body line
Oh,
so
am I?
close to where it
Okay.
is that, to be honest with you, if you lined up straight,
I hit it straight. It
you hit it straight, but you were
My aim
actually
was off.
lined up like this.
Okay.
All right.
10-4.
So,
All right, let's try that again.
Good. Perfect.
Hold it. Slow. That was good. Reasonable.
all right, let's hit me one more, okay? And then I want to give you a couple feels before we leave, and then I want to give you a couple drills that we need to work
Yep.
on, okay?
Need to kill it from the top.
Give it one more, come on. Good. Sounded a lot better right there.
Yeah, the contact was there. It's the path is just the work in progress.
Correct, correct. So let's talk about a few things, right? So go ahead and set up for me. Right, so one thing I want you to kind of do here, right, or get a feel for, right, and I'm going to kind of get on in here with you, right, get these soft forms, right, get that feeling. There we go, right. There you go. Feel the weight of the club now?
Yeah.
And that's what we need to do. All right, good. So that's a feel that we need to kind of have right there, allowing our forearms to rotate and come
Yep.
through a little bit.
I feel like when I try to turn it over, I come in.
Shutting
Yes.
down, right?
Yeah, I come in and bring my hands close.
Mhm.
Just gotta,
Yeah.
because I don't trust myself to not send it so far to the right with that like second base swing that I try to bring it in like I don't want to do that. Just
And
need to,
that's
like,
because the tension in our
trust it a
forearms
little bit.
won't allow that, right?
Yeah.
The tension in our forearms won't allow that. So once we start loosening that up, we start getting rid of that, right? We start getting our path out to the right a little bit, and then we start to figure out that once my path is out to the right, I need something to combat that, right? So it's going to be my forearms to rotate that face closed,
Yeah.
right? So it's, you know, my path is to the right, my face is to the left, which gives me a net straight.
Yeah.
Welcome to physics. Wish it was something different. Now, as far as a drill that I want you to kind of work on, and we're going to have more drills to do, but back to the old, and I know we've done this before, right? But I want you to kind of get an object, you know, probably what, 2.5 feet up in the air, something like that. Get yourself a club right across your chest, right? And then we want to get this leading edge down to the top of that basket, right? So, right, and as you can see, watch what I kind of do. Watch what my right shoulder does, right? You can kind of see it back there behind.
Yeah.
In
It's
the
a straight line.
Yeah. So get yourself in the mirror is what we need to do, and you need to kind of see what your body's doing, right? So when we're out there on the course, we can connect with our imagination of what we're supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
Because nobody's got a camera out there, right? So get like that, and then you're going to really feel how much your chest is rotating and your hip is getting back behind you. Because what you typically kind of do every once in a while is you get like this,
Yeah.
right?
I
And you
bring my
really
body-
rock back.
I bring my body back to compensate for not getting my hips
Correct.
turned.
And that's probably, you know, a few things, right? You know, we're not professional golfers
Yep.
doing this every day. Our body's not used to that, right? And
Yeah.
we're not doing this drill probably at least 3 or 4 times a week, right?
Yeah.
To get our body used to that. So the more that we do this, the more my body's going to be getting used to this position.
Yeah.
So that'll start getting easier right there.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that we want to kind of work on just a little bit is basically what I'd say, let me jump on in there real quick on you, is what I call hip high to hip high drill. Okay? And really all I want to kind of do here, right, is I just want to kind of get the club up to right about where it is here.
Yep.
Right? And then I just want to kind of work on my acceleration pattern. So it's here and through, right? So I just kind of get here, right? Maybe kind of get a little bit up, whatever kind of feels comfy, and then just work on the speed from here to here.
Yep.
Right? That's the big issue for you, is that your speed is up above this, and then we have to slow it down to make contact. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So if I just get you kind of like right here, right, and then I just kind of work on accelerating through, right, then I'm going to start figuring out where that speed needs to be from here to here.
Yep.
Does that make sense? Any questions, my man?
I don't think so. Actually, what's your schedule look like tomorrow?
We're on for 8 o'clock.
Do you have anything after that?
Do I have anything after that?
I didn't get it. I meant to check. I don't think Braun's going to go to school tomorrow,
Okay.
and it's my last day at my current job.
Yeah.
So I'm not planning on getting there early,
Okay.
which is why I'm here at 7 o'clock in the morning today, because it's my next
Yeah,
last
let me
day.
see what I've got. Let me see what they've got
So I was
available.
like, oh, I'd like to get him a lesson before, like he's got to wait another week, and if he's not going to school tomorrow, and I'm in the screw it phase of my current. I don't have anything to do at work. I'm just going there and hanging out, playing on my phone for like 7 hours the last 2 days.
Have you really?
Yeah, it's
That's
like I'm not starting anything new because I'm a short timer.
oh
But I'm like, I'm starting a new job on January 6th, and I was going on vacation after Christmas, so I told him my last day was next Tuesday, but I'm like, if I go in Monday and Tuesday next week, I'm literally going to be the only person there. So I think I'm going to talk to my boss today or tomorrow morning and be like, are you really going to pay me for 2 days next week for me to sit here and do absolutely nothing? Or like, I've got like 70 plus hours of vacation time I'm getting paid out for. Plus, like, it's pay week this week, and then next week I'll get paid out for my 2 weeks of vacation, which will take me through the new year. So I'm like, I don't think I need to come in next week.
would 9 o'clock work for you right after you?
Yeah, because I think, that should work, because then I can bring him, I can come in, he'll just have to come with me and hang out. And then I can drop him off at home and then
Okay.
go to the office for a couple
Okay.
hours.
Yes, I've got availability at that time.
Okay.
I'm
I
just-
know I saw you didn't have a 7 available for tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got
So I would've
got
picked that
a
up.
I've got a poor gentleman. Turn this up.